because as we begin, it's going to be a bit of overland travel to get to the Morning Song Ruins, where you can meet Aubrey's contact. But if there's anything you guys want to share or anything like that, feel free. And I'll unpause the game here, and we'll get started.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Felix will just sort of mention that he's about at half of his spellcasting abilities and physical abilities as it pertains to him going down.
Okay.
And Zarn, with your travel being limited by the condition that is on you at the moment, which if I can, I think, remind you, I want to say it's disadvantage on ability checks, speed is 0. Okay. Disadvantage on attack saves, and then your hit point max is halved.
Yes.
Okay. So how, I guess, Zarn, in your mind, you clearly know that your body is unwell and it's taken a massive toll after, after kind of dealing with this resurrection, for lack of a better term. That being said, is there anything you tell Alcan, like, hey, try and watch out for, uneven terrain or something, or like what? How do you try and make yourself as comfortable as you can be being in the state that you are?
Honestly, Zarn feels really stupid that he even went down, and probably wouldn't talk for a while until something were to be like, watch your head. Oh, sorry, I'll be quiet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. So you guys have about a 10-minute walk or so to get back to sort of the main, I guess, lack of a better term, the main road with Aubrey and Jasper. In that time, as Nick suggested, how do you guys sort of spin this tale of coming out of the forest with maybe not so much an alive Zarn, but a new stranger?
Yeah, that is a good question. Yeah, no, I mean, do we just tell her that we found someone lost in the woods and we thought that they needed help? That sounds a little too convenient, I guess. I don't know. Does anyone have any better ideas?
I will say, just to clarify, it's not like Nyx looks incapable. Like he's not so much really decked out with like magic items and stuff, but he's got a couple things here that look that it might attribute to, some of his strengths. Maybe like he's got a nice set of leather armor. He's got a sort of scimitar that almost looks a little bit. At first you think it's rust, but it's more just like a dull rusty color that has veins of some other sort of streak running through it. And on top of that, aside from that nice armor, he's got a cloak that seems to sort of brush all the dust and grime off of it, because it doesn't seem to have gotten dirty in any of his travels. And then hiding under long sleeves and nice made clothing, he's got what seems to be like a reddish brown tattoo on his body.
Okay. So he looks like he can cook.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, do we just tell her that we want to... We came across someone and need the extra help?
Just tell her the truth. We found someone in the forest. It's a newfound friend. He promised to help.
That's fair.
I mean, she didn't kill us at the idea of us being undead, so why not?
It's worth the risk. Yeah. I can get behind that. Is there anything else anyone needs to take care of before we head off?
Felix will say, I'm hurting enough. I think I'll leave the lying to somebody else.
Oh, did we decide on lying? I stepped away for half a second, sorry.
If we do
Yeah.
lie, just know that it's not really something I want to tangle up, and I've got my mind racing about 100 different ways already. But if you do have something, just kind of clue me in so I don't look like an idiot.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not usually much of a talker, but I mean, if need be, I can try to try to tell her about what's been happening. Yeah.
All right.
Anything else?
So you guys get back to the main road, and I'm assuming rather, Alcan, you're using the barrel to carry Zarn, right? Was that what we suggested?
Yeah.
Okay. It is a good vessel for that.
Yeah, I believe Felix is carrying a bunch of the stuff that was in there, so that way we could make room for him.
That works for me.
This is rather uncomfortable.
Already, we haven't even gotten very far.
Yeah, well, you tried eating your knees.
Yeah, no, I usually try to avoid going down to avoid that, thankfully.
Yeah.
Felix will take out his blanket, one of the only possessions he has aside from kind of what he's wearing and some torches and whatnot. And he tries to tuck it in between like your chest and your knees, or like your back in the barrel, like trying to give you a little bit of padding.
Thank you, Felix.
Nick says, right then, so what am I, just a stranger in the woods that needs to get to the same place, or?
Yeah, I think that is fair enough. I mean, if you overcomplicate it, I mean, it can get a bit hard to keep spinning that tale.
I understand that. Let's leave my little friends out of it, though. They're already tiny enough and ward themselves from other dangers in the forest. I don't need them looking over their shoulders every 2 minutes. They actually provide some value.
Are they going to be all right without you there?
They were all right before me. I think they'll be fine after me. I'll return here once I'm done hitting the road, just to at least check up on them. But no, they are friendly creatures and worth more than what they look. All right, so you guys get back to the main road, and I will just sort of probably ask for this roll now, since there is going to be a bit of travel. Let me get... there's going to be opportunities to sort of scavenge and forage along the road. Not enough to where you guys can really sort of take time in terms of like a short rest to try and get to your destination without wasting like a day, because you'll probably at this pace arrive by probably end of day, like right around when the sun's going down. So anyone that is proficient in survival to a max of 2 characters can give me a survival check, and we'll see if you guys get any goods along the road, because you do pass this is like a main causeway, and you can pick over deserted caravans and old rotting buildings where settlements might have been from ages past. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So
Anybody good at survival?
Yes, anybody proficient in survival here?
I'm not.
Nope.
Oh
No,
no.
sir.
Oh no.
Oh,
No.
I don't think any of us are actually.
Yeah.
Unless
no,
Felix is.
No, Felix
ain't
is
surviving.
good at survival. That's all right, though. We don't Surviving. That's cringe anyways. Why would you guys
Why would
can
you wanna
like
do that?
you guys can just resurrect, it seems. Why would we need to survive? Alright. I will have Felix roll, but the DC will be higher. Let's see. Oh, you're a boss, Felix. Alright, I'm gonna give him some supplies that he finds on the road. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Oh, yeah. Alright, good stuff. He'll come out and of one of the old sort of abandoned sort of settlement buildings that is more decrepit than anything else. And you can see him chewing on some like maybe walnuts, it seems, or something. And after he's done sort of chewing on those, he'll put some away in his pack.
Wonderful. Felix, you find something?
Oh. Yes, not what I was expecting here, but I'll take it. And he gets enough to get back like 2 hit points.
Nice.
Hot broke good berries.
Understood.
All
All
right.
right.
So, back to this scene of incredibly beautiful swamp.
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 You guys seem to be traveling east-southeast, and while the forest persists with the same, the same sort of density and whatnot, the road begins to get a lot more sturdy. You get to see more of a gravel mix than more of like a dirt, mud, clay. And every now and then you'll see like broken cobblestone that might have been laid here 50, 100 years ago, if not more. And as you're traveling, I guess because she can get 2 opinions in one, Aubrey will sidle up the wolf she's riding alongside you, Zarn, and obviously as well, excuse me, you, Alcan. And she'll say, didn't expect to find a model in the forest. Looks too pretty for the road.
Honestly, I thought the same, but he seems rather capable and was heading the same direction. I figured more helping hands make, easier work.
Well, let's hope he doesn't start anything.
Oh, yes, I did mention that, any funny business, and it was not going to go well for him.
Yeah, we'll get him all right.
I wish I could say that was for you two to decide, but seems slippery, I suppose. I think Jasper might have some attachment issues, or at least some that might be brought on by the fact that he's missing his son. He was fucking wrecked for that half hour you guys were gone.
What do you mean, a wreck? Like, he just was beside himself?
Yeah, just on edge, like, realized he didn't have 5 sets of eyes, looking around all the time. Tried to tell him we were on a road with plenty of visibility, and, he just didn't calm down.
Surprising, I would have thought he would have felt very safe in your care.
Yeah, I don't think it's just that. I think maybe realizes, half a dozen is better than one in a domesticated wolf or two.
Yes, that's fair.
That reminds me, if you see a carcass or something, let me know. I gotta feed the boys.
Will do.
We'll do. We'll keep a lookout. And by the way, our new friend's name is Nix.
Nix.
Did she say boys? Is in more than one?
Yeah, she's got two dire wolves. Yeah, she usually rides one,
Yeah.
and then the other one is, I guess not surplus per se, but you've seen like, what's the word? Like a harness where she can place items or whatnot, like if for storage and all that.
Oh, okay. I missed a couple things you said last time. Then I don't remember having a second wolf with her right now. All right, my bad. Sorry, just heard boys. Just double checking.
Yeah, she had one. The hell was it? It was one wolf by here at the fire when you guys first met, but she didn't bring out the second one until you guys left.
Ah.
That's what it was, because there was really only one on the map. The other one was like with bullseye, I think, on the eastern like overlook or whatever.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Alrighty. So, as far as travel goes, we're gonna bring this to about 8:30 in the evening. When you guys see this sort of massive clearing open up after traveling through the forest, and just sort of now you have spotted trees and nice rolling hills and good portions of plains. And off in the distance, you see a body of water that seems too big to be a lake. It seems like this is what used to be an oceanfront town. Not so much a metropolis, but maybe a town fit enough to hold, 7, 8, 10,000 people. And you've been passing a little bit of farmland here or there. It seems that perhaps the farms were operated by people living in the town, as you don't see much more than sort of tool sheds and barns out here, but no like residences that have gone dormant. And as you approach the town, Aubrey will say, I don't think I've been to Morning Song in probably 2 or 3 years. He says the last time I saw Raj, and yeah, that must have been at least 2. She will bring out from her pack sort of like a makeshift set of clothespins, and some of them you see wrapped with like twine, and she has about half a dozen or so, and she'll just pull like a bandana up around her face, and she says, here, for the smell. Sewers aren't nearly devoid of their stench, even after all this time.
So they're just masks? Or masks with
these are more like
clothespins?
these are more just like clothespins to pinch your nose.
Okay.
They're sort of shaped like woodworked and whittled, I guess, enough to where it'll fit on like the bridge of the nose, so it like nestles in. It's not like it's just you're like pinching your nose and like pointing out of your face and obscuring vision. It sort of hides in that peripheral of your nose.
Okay. I take.
Yeah, all 6 of you, as far as characters, will take one, and she will look over at Nyx and say, sorry, times are tough. And Nyx just sort of smirks and nods, and I'll be fine. And he'll whip out like an old piece of stained fabric from his pack and fashion it into like a bandana. And you think he might have gotten some perfume out or something like that as well, and maybe dabbed a little bit on the inside. And as you guys...
Oops, sorry.
Oh, you're good. As you guys approach the city, let's see. What would I like? You guys approach the city, and still on the outskirts, there is a sunken entrance to an old sewer system. Kind of imagine those like basement doors on the side of houses that open up horizontally, and then you sort of have to step down into the subterranean. It's kind of like that. And I would ask for, let's see, what do I want? Just a perception check from everybody, please.
You got it.
I hit nature. Whoops.
Oopsie.
It's a natural perception.
It was right next to me. My bad. Okay, 18's not bad. I take it.
Oops, that was supposed to be disadvantage.
I think
roll one more
it's
time.
automatic.
It was.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Yeah, you're good, homie.
I knew it was gonna be trash anyway. But
Nah, bro, you're crazy.
Alrighty. So, Vayliss and Soja, you guys are sort of having some conversation in the middle of the pack. And every now and then you hear like an echo as you guys are approaching. And it sounds like it's coming probably from the tunnel as the doors are fully opened, as sort of that filter sort of turns off and you can hear it a bit more clearly. It's almost like you were hearing music played from another room in a large building. And as soon as those doors get opened up, you can tell it was from further back in the tunnel. And a lot of it sounds like sort of deep, like clawing scratches. And every now and then like a knock against metal that just sort of has that clinging sound that echoes out. And another thing you guys see is Nyx will sort of head to the front of the pack, and he looks over the stonework of the sort of entrance here. And there seems to be a scribbling done in black chalk that is on what seems to be a tablet that is hidden among the bricks of the wall. And he bends down and picks it up, and he looks around, kind of just a 360 check. And he turns the tablet over, and it reads, actually, can I do this? Oh, which one is it? Is it narrate? That's what it says.
Huh.
And he flips over that little wax tablet. Like I said, it was like painted with chalk almost to try and blend in with the black stone. And he flips it over, and there seems to be like a carving as to open up like a letter-sized hole. And he flips it over and kind of shakes it to get a piece of correspondence out. And he looks at it, and there seems to be a little seal on it, and then he kind of tries to pry it open for a moment, reads a couple words, and then he just puts it in his like a breast pocket inside his jacket, and he says, seems to be a gift. He turns to Aubrey and he says, I know Raz too. It's just been a little bit longer since I've seen him, but I get gifts from him and other of his kind every now and then, I suppose, for the work of my family before me. And Aubrey seems a little disconcerted, I suppose, and is kind of curious as to what he means. But Nyx kind of keeps a tight lip about it and doesn't really persist. How do you folks react to that?
Zarn's too tired.
It's too tired. Fair.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know if Zarn would have the ability to see more than like 5 feet away without it being blurry at the moment.
His head's tilted back like a baby. Just
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You're like a dog who saw the sky for the first time and you're just like starstruck, literally.
slumped.
Alright, so you guys descend into a dark and damp sewer, holding your nose along with the clothespins in certain points to sort of block out the stench of decay and filth. There are stone walls made of gray and black brick that are covered with moss and slime, and the water seems to be murky and quite stagnant. You hear the occasional splash of rats or other creatures sort of scurrying, I suppose, in the shadows, and the sort of distant echo further away from like dripping pipes. You guys do have to light torches here to find your way, and at some points it does seem to be sort of labyrinthian in nature. There's a lot of tunnels and chambers, and as you explore, you notice signs of like ancient civilization. You see every now and then there's like a faded mural depicting a scene of glory or prosperity, crumbling statues of perhaps forgotten gods and heroes, and there's broken pottery and coins that are no longer worth anything due to the scattered nature of their flecks of silver and gold as opposed to sort of full castings. And you just sort of oddly or kind of here and there wonder what happened to the people who once lived here and why they might have abandoned their city or who knows. And you see traces of a bit more recent activity. There's, for lack of a better term, like graffiti on the walls, makeshift campsites and fire pits that might have been dug at now dormant, dormant sewer tunnels. Small piles of bones, scraps of clothing, and you realize that you're not the only one who's ventured into the sewer, and that perhaps some of whoever ventured here or whatever might not have left alive, as this is sort of shows you the nature of the labyrinthian sort of portion of it. There's not just one ground level. There's staircases that go up. There's tunnels that go here and there. There's a bunch of broken, crates and barrels and all sorts of other containers. Yeah. So, if I could... I think I can. For ease of access...
The graffiti that was up there is just graffiti, right? There's nothing, no special messages in there or anything?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be special in any sense. It's more just kind of... It looks like, I guess, vandalism per se. So let me get you guys on this map here. And I'll attach Zarn once again.
Man is in the backpack.
Goddamn right. I'm going to leave Jasper and Aubrey sort of off of this map as to keep the token sort of size down.
Okay.
But
Sure.
I'll get you guys here.
Okay.
So this is as you guys have entered the sewer and made your way about 15 minutes in to the travel here. Again, just sort of stench here and there. Any water you might see on the screen here is probably no more than ankle deep at its deepest point. But you can feel free to stick to the sides, traverse the water. It's nothing really, nothing of any consequence.
Okay.
And further down this straight shot tunnel, as Aubrey calls it out, she says, Raz's lair is on the right, and she points to where there's some torchlight escaping a collapsed wall.
right. Well, I mean, I guess let's make our way there.
I've never been so happy to not have to walk.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
pretty much at the destination.
Yeah, you have clean boots. Nyx will sort of peer his head around a corner, make sure there's no dangers or creatures, and he'll just sort of wave everybody along. He's been kind of keen to stick towards the front, it seems. Also get rid of Felix.
Get out of here.
Don't need your healings.
All right.
Soja, Nyx will say, watch your step.
Is there anything that I should be watching my step on?
No, you just, you've got more flowing clothing and whatnot, and just more stuff to get caught on. Nails, obstructions.
That was Darren asking, not Soja.
Oh. He responds to you in that way as well.
My God.
He is omniscient.
He knows all.
And Aubrey will call out and just say, Raj, we're coming in. We've got some friends here. So if you guys want to enter that chamber, feel free. Nyx will take the long way around. And he'll hop out of a broken pipe here. So as you guys come across this large chamber, it seems to be the lair of Raj. You see a pile of bones and weapons sort of in the corner where he's at. Mostly rusted, nothing special. There's a makeshift throne of metal and wood, and on that throne you see this gaunt figure with sort of pale skin and glowing eyes. There's like a tattered cloak that he is wearing and a rusty helmet sort of obscured by a hood. And he holds this sort of wicked blade in his hand, more due to the probably tetanus effect of it than sharpness. And he sort of stares at you all with a mix of curiosity and somewhat hostility. And Aubrey will introduce and say, she'll step up sort of closer to the fire. And she'll say, gentlemen, this is Raz. He is a former officer of the city guard here, who was unfortunately killed during a siege that destroyed the city. He was betrayed by his own men, who sided with the invaders and, in essence, stabbed him in the back. So he was able to swear vengeance upon them before he died, and it seems that his vengeance has brought him back to us. And he sort of tilts his head upward, and his glowing eyes seem to sort of lessen a little bit as he takes a full gander again. And he says, I have been hunting down those traitorous comrades ever since, and I've made the sewer my home. I know every inch of these tunnels, and I've set up traps and ambushes for anyone who dares to enter. I hope you would not run into any, as I tried to keep the way you've taken open. Doesn't look like you're at all hurt, it seems. It's not by my doing.
No, thankfully we didn't encounter any issues getting here in particular. We were told you might have some knowledge of these wells that are out and about in the world. Special wells, if you know what I'm talking about.
I know a fair share about, I guess you could call them ancient artifacts or structures. Those wells were something I was able to study. More of necessity than anything else. I had quite enough on my plate, but as far as their purpose, I know not. Last thing I remember about them, they seem to have some strange, almost guardian grids imbued upon them, as to not be tampered with. It seemed that folks were taking the water thinking that it was holy or full of some miracle cure. I'm afraid it wasn't the case. Consoled one too many loved ones, convinced that physiology and the doctors that they had at their disposal weren't in comparison to the potentially divine substance found in those wells. But they had no reason to think otherwise, I suppose. Aubrey will continue the conversation and say, Raz, we're looking for a young man, a boy. He is about, turns back to Jasper and says, about 6 years old. And Aubrey says, so young. Not so young as to where he couldn't move on his own, but might have been taken by a particular cult of people, I guess you would call them. They're called the Black Bloods, and she'll sketch out like a symbol as to show some potential heraldry. And Raj says, I know of the people you speak, but I've never stopped them should they travel through here. Didn't even make myself known to them. Never caused me any harm. Figured they were just trying to get out of the wilderness for the evening. And again, it's, I guess, hard to tell what time of day it is down here. To which Jasper says, my boy, he's got sort of brownish blonde hair, blue eyes, just, a little bit shorter than I am. Quick on his feet, slender, nimble. And he says, I haven't seen anyone like that. I have seen some small wrapped packages with them, almost like cargo. Some of them may have writhed around in those bindings or bags, but to my eyes they looked like hunting traps that might have held an animal that I've seen you use. And he looks at Aubrey, and Aubrey just sort of kind of shakily nods. And he says, it was about a day ago that they were last here. At least, yeah. It was one sleep ago. I saw them. Nyx will sort of enter down here and kind of get around the fire with the rest of you. And he says, well, within a day's travel, they couldn't have gotten far, I suppose. Especially if they're traveling with weight that they need to, And he just sort of looks at Alcan and Zarn and do that with.
I mean, could they still potentially be here in these? Yeah, they have to be nearby. So, I guess we have to start trying to track them down.
Yeah. Jasper was trying to kind of bring his emotions together. And he sort of tugs at Aubrey's like belt, and he says, Aubrey, do you think I could maybe try and track down here? And he says, I noticed a lot of the stone was covered in like this, film of whatever the hell this is. You think maybe I can take a look? And Aubrey says, I'm not your keeper. I just don't want you straying too far if, just don't want you to get lost. We're trying to find one person, and it'd be a shame to have to go through it again a second time. And Jasper says, no, I know. It's just my boy. And Aubrey just sort of kind of looks at the rest of you, and she says, I'm not going to protest. It's being proactive.
Yep. Let's unless there's anything unless we should rest up beforehand, which I think is probably not the best idea, because then they get further away. We should start moving immediately, unless anyone is opposed.
Roz will say, I know of only a handful of places down here in these sewers that they might be. I suppose I could point them out. I try not to wander too far, but I could narrow the search if they might be down here.
That would be much appreciated. Do you have any sort of map, or could you give us some kind of layout of the place?
He just sort of, if a potentially undead man could smirk, he does, and he says, best knowledge I know of. He taps his head, and when he taps his head, you see like a piece of skin fall off his cheek. And he says, time and experience. Bit of memory, too. At that point, I need everybody to make me a perception check, please. There you go. I can prompt that for you in
That's
chat.
cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ugh.
Soja? Boy, tell him.
That don't impress me much.
It's okay, Zarn. Alright, so if you guys want to take the equivalent of a short rest, because you've had some very much light sort of travel among you. You guys have been traveling on pretty flat road and whatnot, and it's not to where you've been, kind of hurting yourselves. It hasn't taken much effort as you've been traveling on gravel and old cobblestone. Let's see, I know Felix can. Bang. Yeah, why not? There you go.
Nice. Hey, there we go, Zarn.
Is that shit I prefer?
I hit the rest button.
I actually forgot to hit the rest button myself.
Oops.
There we go.
Oh, look at you go. I like how it calculates your maximum is technically 23 and a half.
Yeah.
It happens. All right. So as you guys are resting up, Soja, you are positioned sort of outside the main hall with Vayliss. And you hear like a hissing, like a not so much like a snake hiss, but almost like a pot boiling, and it's starting to whistle.
Which direction is it coming from?
Right now, it's just sort of ambient because you're in this hall, and there's a bunch of like echo points and whatnot, right? So you can't really pin down a direction.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Absolutely invigorating commentary.
I will pick a direction and walk.
Okay.
Soja? So-
Yeah, you get about there, sort of putting a hand on one of those metal, gratings that has been blasted open or cut after who knows how many years, and it does seem to be a bit louder now that you've kind of localized it to a tunnel that goes in a straight way. It's a little more narrow.
I will look into the tunnel. Do I see anything in there besides piping?
No, but as this hiss is going on, you hear a bit of spellcasting chant coming from inside the chamber. Sounds like Graham's voice.
I'm gonna go in the tunnel.
Okay.
All right. In that case, you all right?
I'll give him like a nod, turning to the side, kind of, but not all the way around.
You need help?
I'll shrug.
I'll just keep an
Soja,
eye on for now.
Give me give me an investigation check now that you're sort of localized. Well, that's pretty good. Darren's on a streak.
The oppression filter isn't working.
It's the progression filter.
Well, depends. So, as you step in there and you notice this sort of cracked piping above you, you've seen this here and there. It seems to be like, almost like if there was like a small fog cloud that was like clinging to the ceiling around places here. Except it has more of like a green tint to it. And as you approach, it slides from like the top, kind of the top part of the half pipe of this pipe here.
Yeah.
And ferociously slips through this crack and goes to where you can't see it, somewhere on the opposite side of the pipe.
How tall is the pipe? I mean, it's obviously tall enough to fit me, but
Yeah, you are barely getting to the point where you have to potentially duck. So it is about 6 foot by, probably a 6x6 or so height and width.
could I climb through this hole? Is this wide enough for me to fit sideways?
You can get like your head up above it, but beyond that, there's no more really room to maneuver your torso.
Well then, yeah, if I could get my head above it, see what's going
Okay.
on.
So you get your head above it, and in this time you hear the sort of hissing or whistling noise sort of stop, and you get your head above this crack, and it's just sort of surrounded by stone of where this piping had to have been constructed. You see like the top part of this stone here, and otherwise it's sort of flanked by a wall.
Is there like a ceiling to this little area?
The ceiling would be stone, and there's cracks in the stone where you can see like little droplets of water heading out. Like it's not a perfect, they didn't use excavators for this, right? so
Right.
it's not uniform in any sense. And at one of the biggest sort of air pockets, you see this green noxious gas that seems to react to you spotting it, and it lets out this like ear-shattering hiss, and it slips its way through like a connector piece of the sewer and heads out of sight towards the chamber that you guys were just having your conversation in. And I need everybody to roll me initiative, please.
Great, because now I can go to the bathroom.
Hell yeah.
Don't worry, guys. We got this.
There's the combat thing.
That don't impress me much.
It's so
Eight.
good.
It says combat not started on my... Or do you want me to just roll initiative from my sheet?
I don't know why it would tell you it's not.
Oh, it's not on the
started.
combat tracker. That's weird.
Oh, there
Is
you
it 'cause
go.
There
they
you go.
died?
Oh, now it popped up.
It's because you're attached to Alcan. You weren't registering as a token I could select.
Oh, gotcha.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. I'll get Felix going here. And I'll say he's right here. Yeah. That's the good stuff. And I'll get Soja going as well. Boy, he told him. Okay. So you guys all hear that loud hiss sort of coming from the eastern side of the room. And as you do, you see this green sort of noxious looking creature come out of the wall. And there is a bit of like a shadow or a shade-like nature to it. And I believe we're going to start this combat with the razzle dazzle.
I'm with the old razzle
Raise
dazzle.
God.
Oh, God.
Just give him a good old razzing, you know.
I want to die.
I don't want to be alive today. All right, so let's get you on a square. Yeah, right there. We'll get up to there, right next to the fire. And this particular boyo has a regeneration effect. And it seems that he is readying his blade, which as he takes it out of the sort of ratty looking like scabbard, the hilt, he grabs it and yanks it out. And you notice that it's like a quarter of a normal sword's length long, and it seems that the actual blade portion has broken off probably 3 inches above the hilt. And he will take a hostile action towards any creature within melee range. Another loud hiss in this sort of like so sort of like scream that echoes out throughout the tunnel, or the tunnels rather. You hear a little bit of bubbling of water as Felix looks down and says, pipe, and he points at this pipe here, and this one comes out this northern part of the pipe right by the throne, and yeah, it'll come out of here, and Roz will get his attack, which effectively is just a fist. Yeah, that'll work.
Sheesh.
Yeah, he's got quite a bit of a pop to him.
Riz.
Hey, maybe he is the Riz God. Jeez.
Yeah.
Listen, I doubt it. I'm sorry. I see
Uh,
now. He may in fact be the Riz God.
God damn.
Oh, actually, sorry, I gotta adjust this real quick. That's what it is. Sorry, he doesn't do the whole thing for damage. The secondary 4d6 is for something else that is like a condition.
Oh,
So he pops one of them nice and good, and Aubrey was not ready for that, so she doesn't get a reaction. But you see this creature sort of reaches out with its ghost-like hand and tries to wrap this sort of inky fingers around Aubrey's neck. And we'll go with one of these.
Uh-oh, inky.
Inky. Not enough. All right. And I think that might be good enough. In fact, yeah, we'll put him right there. Jasper is beside himself, and he does not know necessarily what to do. So he's gonna stay here, and he's gonna try and take the dodge action. Aubrey will react. Oh, let's see. Will she be a good arranger? I think she will. She is going to go ahead and hunter's mark that creature.
Nice.
And she will. I don't think she has. No, she has sharpshooter, but she doesn't have like, what the hell's it called? Gunner or whatever that allows no disadvantage within 5 feet with a ranged weapon. So she's gonna take this with disadvantage. That's all right. Yeah, that's not bad.
Thanks.
All right. She sort of draws an arrow from this bow that you guys are just now seeing really used for the first time, and it seems to be a magical weapon. And she's sort of pulling a bowstring, but you notice she didn't load any ammunition. It sort of produced its own. And in fact, now that you're able to pay attention to it, those who are in the room, you can see that it's not, there is no string that is strung to this bow. When she plucks her finger against it, it sort of like appears, right? So to the normal, to anyone's eye, it just looks like an unstrung bow. And she'll call out and say, these creatures, they have some ward against mundane effects. Any magic you got, use it. And that will be it for her turn. This creature will appear out of a pipe from up above and start the party same way. I think that might hit. Yeah. All right, so she'll take
Lucky roll.
5 points of damage. Yeah. And it's also going to be a D4. Jesus Christ.
Did her hunter's mark do damage last turn?
You know,
Or does her bow just do that 1d6 poison, or is that the hunter's mark damage?
you know, I actually don't think I had that.
Because I see that she casts it as the smart ranger you said she was.
That's true. We'll just do the one here.
Ranger's gonna range.
You know.
Yeah, the 1d6 is something else.
That's why I was asking. Just double checking.
Yeah. All right, I guess I got to do that. So she gets hit with that same attack from that the first creature was trying. And you see that she's really shook by it. And she's like stunned without being stunned, if that makes any sense. All right, Vayliss, you are up to bat. You hear the loud hissing from inside the sort of big room. And you also hear like sloshing around, but that's more faint. And again, it's sort of amorphous. There's no real direction that it's coming from.
Oh. Okay.
Why is this? The battle music isn't battling. There we go.
I will. Looks like Aubrey's in combat with him, so that's hype. Or does she look messed up to me?
She
Consider
doesn't look
attacked, but-
messed up in the physical sense. It's more like she was like mentally almost stunned, or like she doesn't seem to be. She's not holding the same facial expression. She's not, moving with her normal mannerisms. And you don't think she gets frazzled in combat, from what you can understand.
I don't know which one did the turret. Okay, I want to target this one.
Yep.
Because at least Raz looks like he's in combat, so that should still give me sneak attack.
There's a ghost on my screen.
And let's start with.
Sewer's haunted. What?
What?
There's a psychic blade.
A DB psychic. Yeah, that'll hit.
Does that do sneak attack or no?
Ally within 5 feet. It should, yeah.
Cool.
Based.
All
Awesome.
psychic, and then another one coming at him. Oh, don't tease me like that. Why is it question marks for me? It was my attack. What the heck?
You're not allowed to know.
Damn right.
But there you go. That's
That-
I'm also gonna kind of actually I'm just gonna no, I'm gonna stay so I can see. I lied. I was gonna sneak back, but now I'm good. Okay, I'm done.
Alrighty. Yeah, you're on public roll. I don't know why it would be.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's right. I know that stuff like this is privated because it's for me to apply damage.
Oh yeah, I get that, but I was just like my 1d4 roll was a bunch of question marks. I was like, what? It was me. It's for me.
So is that all for your turn, good sir?
Action bonus. Yeah, I don't think I got anything left, so
Okay.
I'm good.
Soja, you are up to go. So the way this sort of kicked off, obviously that sort of shade-like creature belted out of your sight. You're now sort of letting yourself down from where you had your head in that opening. And you hear these screeches and screams coming from inside that room where the conversation was being had.
So there's a rock wall separating the pipe from view.
Yeah, there's effectively a little bit of like an air gap here where you could get your head up. And then there's pretty much all stone wall here.
But there's not stone wall, say, here.
No, this creature that you saw, it fit itself through like a 2-inch crack.
Right, I understand that, but you said the stone ends here? Like, it goes from the wall here, the finished brick wall, to here, or does it just go all the way?
It goes all the way up to like about here. There's not enough for you as your size to get through the space here.
Oh, I just need to see, I don't need to fit.
Oh, sure. Yeah, if you can... well, depending on what you're doing, you might need hand motions, right, for spell casting. So as long as you can do what you're doing without having to do those sort of sweeping motions and all that.
Just verbal.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wouldn't even bother letting my head down then. I would just, if I can see a space, like... Well, I guess, what's the furthest space I can still see without actually going...
You
like,
can
next to
see,
him?
yeah, you can see where the creature is and probably the space behind him at the angle that you're at.
Is that space, like, can I actually fit on that?
Yeah, you'd be up probably 5 feet or so, kind of back against the wall, but yeah.
Fine by me. I'm gonna cast Misty Step.
All right, cool.
I will Misty Step to this spot right here. My path is blocked. Oh, because of the
Oh, I got you.
way the
here.
terrain's built, yeah.
What about now? There you go. And then I'll just replace the wall there.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then I can't do any other leveled spells except I can do cantrips still. So... Oh, there's more than one.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it, wee ball. I'll hit the one in front of me with a firebolt.
All right. Goodness
Attempt.
gracious. Just barely missed. Great bolts of fire.
Okay, well, I'm gonna probably incur an attack of opportunity if I move, so I'll just hang tight. And that will be my turn.
Alrighty. And keep in mind for further ranged attacks, ranged weapons and spells, you'll have disadvantage if you're within 5 feet of a hostile creature.
Oh, okay.
So just keep that in mind. All right, Nyx. Stevie Nyx. All right. He will get over here.
Turn into a bat.
Yeah. The problem is with this terrain, he can't really get there and have full like motion of his arm to use his blade and flank. So he's just gonna have to settle for this because this is a bit elevated. What can this guy do? That's cool. Oh, why not? For now, we'll keep it simple, stupid, and he'll just make a couple blade attacks with his skimmy.
The veined scimitar.
Yes, you got the skimmy.
He's using it. He's using it in vain. That's
I'm gonna
pretty-
our D&D party. Telegraph that you're a vampire. Sauce on us.
In my
Oh.
Christian Minecraft server.
No, please, no, anything but that.
And he's going to. So Soja, you probably have the best view of this. When he strikes with that second scimitar sort of slash against this shaded creature, you see his tattoo sort of burst with energy and glow. And it's similar to when you've used your Wand of Magic Missiles, how it has that sort of effect, right? Where it's like using some internal buffer of energy.
I see.
And he will...
And that's when he landed the hits?
No, it's on that second hit, he chose to do something that is adding
Okay.
a bit of juice.
You're the juice.
A bit.
Jesus Christ. And he will dispatch that creature.
Nice.
Oh, thank God. Now I'm safe.
Dispatch the one untouched creature. Yeah, just a
Uh,
little bit of juice.
And he will use the rest of his movement to get back kind of next to Jasper, and I'll see if he can stand here with a bit of just a general dex. 14. Yeah, that's not terrible.
Guys, I'm happy we didn't try to fight him.
All right, Felix.
I'm also
Felix, my
happy we
boy.
didn't try to fight him.
Was that something we were thinking about doing?
I mean, it's a possibility.
I mean, he was sus.
Exactly.
Y'all have trust issues.
Innocent until proven
do.
guilty, gentlemen.
not in our
Nah.
fantasy world.
Yeah.
Imagine trusting people.
The scythe that Felix has is calling out to him, but he is not going to use it. He's concerned about whatever damage he might take. So we're going to start with no Sacred. I like his chances
Just
here.
guiding bolts.
He does like the guiding bolt.
You do
What
like a
Felix
guiding
would
bolt.
do, guys, if he were here.
Man does F with guiding bolts.
It's a to hit spell and it's a touch, so I think this would be advantage because it's flank. It's like a melee spell attack. That's how I would rule it, I think.
Well, I mean, you are the one ruling it, so
yeah.
love that.
It's like your decision.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's true.
Yeah, there it is.
So let's see.
Oh,
That's
let's
good
go.
enough.
Oh,
Let's
Oh
see
my
if
god.
let's see if he
Gone
gets
thought.
let's see if he gets a natty though. Oh, close.
Oh,
All right, so he will
fucking
do
zero.
17 points of necrotic damage. To which he goes, that didn't work, guys.
Oh shit.
He's like completely fine. Oh shit! And he just like holds up his shield now.
oh shit. Man says.
All right. Gram ounce Mick pound man.
What?
What? It's
Oh,
like
yeah,
your
yeah,
it's like your turn or something. I don't know. I just got here.
I mean, fair enough.
So, I don't
Okay.
know, I just work here.
Alright, so I won't waste a hex then.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Sir.
I will sort of head around this rock
Yeah.
so that I can go here.
Nick's trips you.
And-
I'm kidding.
And I would actually like to cast Green Flame Blade.
That's cool.
Weapon, rapier, yep.
Yep.
It didn't seem to roll.
The only roll that it does is for the initial damage, which at your level it doesn't do any. So when you do hit, if you do hit this creature, we can
Okay.
roll manually for that.
Alright, cool. Alright, so here is the attack roll.
Let's see it. Make sure you target, my friend.
Yep,
I mean,
nice.
they're not my friends, but
I got it.
that's cool.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh,
Alright.
man. So as your weapon
And it
is
actually is a
non-magical,
magic weapon.
Oh, it is.
Yep, I have the invocation to make any weapon I conjure a +1.
Well, hot diggity damn. You should be getting magic done. All right, so let me do the correct damage. All right, it should be magical from now on. So
Okay.
he
The damage is actually
was-
correct. It's funny.
No, so the only one that applied is half of the damage. So here, if you see the formula,
I meant the like the +5 instead of +4.
yeah, that
for
is
that.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
all that got brought over.
Yep. And then the secondary damage, it doesn't do any more to the original target, but
Correct.
a target within 5 feet of it takes my charisma mod and fire damage.
Yeah, buddy,
So the secondary shade will take 5.
that's cool. All right, so as it takes 5 damage, it only takes 3 damage.
Looks like fire's not doing too hot either.
This is no time for puns. That's what Nick sort of tries to quip at you.
Always time for puns.
Is that the remainder of your turn?
Yep, that's it for me.
Okay.
Time for Zarn to do the
Uh,
thing.
So Zarn, obviously your movement is restricted, but you have same, opportunities as everyone else. Just pick
Barrel.
yourself up by your barrel straps and get a job.
Barrel rider.
Well, I assume I'm still just stuck to Alcan, right?
Oh yeah. You
Right,
are
okay.
completely devoid of movement regardless, and
Right.
wherever Alcan takes you is where you're going.
Alcan, if your axe isn't magic, grab my sword from Felix. And I'll be like, Vayliss, do the thing.
He was a Pokemon trainer.
And it's just strategizing.
Just weakly saying from the barrel.
Commander Strike.
Kill him.
Yeah.
I
Like,
guess Vayliss.
any particular one you like?
That one.
It's a target-rich environment.
I can't lift my arms. It's just,
I said that in the motion of throwing. Your answer meant nothing. I was like, yeah, no, it's cool. Whichever one you want. There's only 2.
oh, let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Oh
course.
my god, no, he's fucking dead.
He's based.
Feel free. Yeah, feel free.
Cool.
4d6 sneak attack.
Oh, it don't even.
Oh, you want
That guy.
You're too based. It doesn't
Alright,
matter.
cool.
Him.
Vayliss.
That'll be my turn.
All right, cool.
Spurred on by your words, Vayliss hit a critical attack.
As that happens, you see one coming out of this little like drainage pipe here, and he'll. What else? That's cool.
I love the idea that Zarn's just like exhausted. Just that Vayliss do the thing. Like,
Head hanging limply, just Vayliss, do the head, the blade.
and I'm like, great.
It's gonna target you, Graham, and
Yeah, that's
you hear these sort of words echo through your head as you see almost wispy-looking old script letters fly through the air, and as they do, they just sort of make these nonchalant and haunting whispers towards you. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, that'll be a
Oh, that is.
18. All right, so this will be 7 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And I need you to roll a 1d4, please.
Okay.
As this will actually affect you. Okay.
Yep.
Your charisma score is reduced by 2, so I'm going to change it to 18.
Got it.
He's getting less race.
So your stuff should calculate correctly. It might be wrong on the description, though, because obviously the text doesn't change.
Sure,
So
sure.
if you think something's wrong, just bring it up to me and we'll take a look.
You're fine.
All right, Alcan, you're up.
Oh no,
Right.
his wrist.
And it is, just to give you a bit of a better picture, this creature is still within the pipe, so it's effectively got like 3/4 cover because it's not really exposed.
Oh, okay.
Stick your sword in the hole.
Well, we'll see. Is my movement affected at all by the fact that I have Zarn on my back?
Let's see. As far as your encumbrance goes, not necessarily, because the barrel is sort of anchoring a good portion of the weight, and you can still carry another 170 pounds before like being encumbered. So the
Sick.
fact that he's like sort of acting as a backpack, he's not really his full weight as it pertains to you carrying him.
Okay, good to know. So does it still have cover if I'm looking down the barrel of this pipe?
Do you have like a piercing attack is what I would ask in that situation.
That's not what I was going for.
What are you going for, sir?
I'm going for burning hands.
Burning hand. Yeah, because that's like
Just
an
sending
AoE.
burning hands down that pipe.
Yeah.
Sick. All right, let's do it. Let's try to get this.
Oh, that's
all lined
cool.
up. How do I line this up? First time doing that.
It's control and then
Oh.
like mouse wheel. And then when you're
Okay.
ready, you can click, I think, something like that.
It's not doing it no more. I think it went away because I clicked
Uh,
something.
yeah,
I'll place
hit-
the measure template. There we go.
Yeah, and then you can. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Would not
Oh,
be
God.
where I wanted that to face.
I'm
Kills all of
assuming.
us.
Hold on, let me get there.
Raise it like a.
I'm assuming you wanted something
Yes.
like that. Okay.
Yes.
All right, that is more applicable.
No res.
Oh, Jesus Christ! It's funny because you place a template. It's like, oh, everybody's targeting those creatures. All right,
Yeah,
so
well-
it'll do 3d6 fire. This creature needs to make a save.
Mhm.
Ooh, which it does not do.
Yes. Sick.
Even with all its pluses, which is nice. Yeah, and that'll be 11 points of fire damage, which this creature only takes half. Now, Alcan.
Yep.
This is a great idea. You got your fire damage. You're doing all that good shit.
Yep.
It is burning a little bit hotter than, and with more ferocity than with this open flame here in all this open space surrounded by a bunch of stone. So as you release this blast of fire, you think it does a bit more damage than you were expecting because it just burst this pipe wide open. However, you hear this whooshing of air coming towards you. I need you to make a dex save. Zarn, you as well.
Fuck.
Hides in the barrel.
Can I even make a dex save?
I'll say you have half cover, Zarn, so you're going to get a +2 to this.
Okay.
Oh, look at you go,
Let's go.
Alcan. Oh, you're
Oh,
fine.
wow.
Let's go!
So 17 and
Jeez,
22. So you guys are going to take half of this damage. This is equivalent to fireball, like a localized fireball, but it's going to be halved. So I'll do the full.
Oh no.
All right, and you guys are going to take half of this. So apply half damage, and Zarn, I'm just going to do this manually. I'm going to take away 17. So you've got 7. The shade also does do this, so dex
Okay.
save. Okay, 13.
Good. Fuck that guy.
All right. So as far
my God.
as damage goes, God, I don't know what
Explodes
the.
the sewer
I
system.
don't, yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what the fireball DC of a pipe is.
What's the pipe's intelligence?
Yeah, Jesus. I'm guessing this is more of a. This is like a Constitution caster. It's using its tensile strength of the steel and the iron.
In my experience, the pipe is never very smart.
Yeah.
Metal pipe cast explode.
You know, I'm gonna say if this creature was anywhere else but literally in the vicinity, it would probably, you know, it would probably do a
Take
bit
it.
better. But there's really no way to dodge it. So it's only getting half damage because it's resistant to fire. So that is technically the full damage that it can take. All right, is that it for your turn, Alcan?
Yeah, I can't necessarily move away, so yep, that's gonna be it for me.
Did that pipe blowing up take away its cover? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, it bit into a chunk. I'll give this creature still half cover because it hasn't really moved out of where it is yet.
Understood. Just
So
curious.
yeah, it got blown to half cover. I can buy
Pipe.
that. All right, Alcan, after you take your go, Vayliss, that grumbling gets a little bit louder,
Oh, great.
and you hear the sloshing and sort of what would the word be? Sloshing, and almost like you can hear the steam of this creature rounding the corner of this large pipe.
Okay.
In fact, nearly so large that it could get all fucky wucky up in this piece. Oh, perfect.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
you read that right.
So this is a golem made of hot steaming tar.
Oh my god, it's Clayface!
An actor!
Uh,
Oh, he looks terrifying. No, he's not Clayface. He's actually scary. Holy shit.
Sure. Facts.
and you think that some of the slimy film that Jasper is talking about might be a residual effect from this creature's travels down here. Yeah, it's you know what? Oddly enough, when you see it emerge, you get the smell of rendered pine, pine wood, and almost like a pine tar smell to it. So it's not entirely unpleasant compared to the.
Oh, it's Lemon Pledge, bro?
Yeah, it's not compared to the shit-filled sewer. It's pretty
Oh,
nice.
hype. Okay.
So it is approaching you lovingly. We'll call it.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's got to make. You know when golems do that slam thing? I think that's probably what this creature's gonna.
Oh, great. No, I
Hey,
love that.
hey, Vayliss. He's gonna beat the tar out of you.
Jesus Christ!
I'm gonna make a quick call right now.
All right,
Make him
so-
right now.
So first slam,
Oh,
Oh,
we'll do
first
14.
slam?
Yeah.
First slam be like,
Stay
oh.
first.
And final.
Hey, how long has it been since we fought the poison and the undead thing back at the camp?
Jesus Christ!
6 hours.
Oh my god, that's max damage.
That is max damage.
I'm down.
Yeah, Vayliss is.
I can't do anything about that.
Oh, buddy.
No,
Vayliss
Vayliss
in
is
a
painted.
Pile of.
What are we
Oh
gonna
no.
hot tar.
Oh no. Zarn will have to use his ability on someone else.
And he'll
Crazy.
continue his movement in this room.
I'm glad that's the only thing you thought about, pal. No, not you got down in one hit or anything like that.
Yeah.
It took two.
It did.
I'm so glad that's what you thought about.
I don't have a max revive.
So, Roz will get in here and try and beat up on this shade.
When does this reset again? Is it every dawn? Shit.
And second attack. Hey, that'll do. All right, that's a good little hit there. And then he'll risk an opportunity attack to get within melee here, which this creature will take. Hold on. Sorry, got out of range. There we go. Yeah, ain't nothing. All right, this shade up top here is going to use a bit of amorphous nature here and try and reposition. So this creature effectively is going to camouflage itself in the liquid and escape. So those of you with reactions, Graham, if you would like to, you can make a melee weapon attack as a reaction at disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think that'll be enough. Jesus, yeah.
11.
It's trying to slither away, and with a flick of your wrist and a turn of your blade, you slice this creature, diminishing it in two and watching all of its sort of poisonous energy fall. Okay, Jasper, no longer dodging, but now very much afraid. Jasper's gonna try and hide himself behind the throne here. And he's got some cover, and he's gonna take a dodge action. Jasper's AC has never been 16. All right. Aubrey, as a bonus action, she'll transfer her Hunter's Mark over to the Golem. And she will... Yeah, she'll make a... I make an attack here. Let's see. Oh, man. No. She will not transfer Hex. She's going to effectively get rid of her Hunter's Mark. And she's going to cast Healing Spirit right on your square, Vayliss. So, at the start of your turn, you're going to take 5 points of healing. Which, I guess, is coming up. So that's her bonus action. And now she's concentrating on that. Her regular action... yeah, she's going to risk it with a sharpshooter attack. So let me actually make this real quick. Let me duplicate this. I'll just add a -5 and a +10. There we go. Oh,
Nice.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, let's go.
Fuck me.
Aubrey out here with the hard carry.
She will sort of gauge her opponent as that first arrow hits, and she says, "Poison doesn't do a damn thing. Focus something else." And she'll try it again. I don't think that'll be enough. No. All right, so that was 10 feet of movement, and she will kind of reposition back on this rock here. All right, so Vayliss, because you start your turn here, you gain 5 points of healing from the healing spirit that is now around you from Aubrey's spell. And you awaken, you are prone, and there is a tar golem right next to you, focused on the creatures inside the room.
Oh. Before I even stand up, I'm gonna take the bonus action to disengage.
Cool.
So what does it take? Half my movement just to stand up?
Correct.
Hmm.
I'm assuming you are going to stand up regardless.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so I'm going to get rid of prone there.
I'm gonna step out of sight of anybody. It's all the rest of my movement.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast a spell. I had to target myself, that's right.
That's cool. All right, because it has a verbal component, as you go into your what I would call sort of shimmery form before going completely invisible, the last thing you see before you turn invisible and have this film of vision over your eyes is the tar golem looking, spotting you as you out of existence to his eyes. All right, cool. So Vayliss is invisible. Let me add this effect to you. Just it's a condition. Hold on. Although it did seem to work. There we go. That's cool. All right. Soja, you are up. Your corner of the room is now free of any danger. However, the main entrance to this lair does not seem to be all that safe.
This all is this all water here? Or water adjacent at least?
Yeah, there's some water mixed in with the piss.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming that qualifies for me being able to walk on it, so.
It's not pretty, but yeah.
Okay. Do I need to spend any extra movement to get down from here?
Not necessarily. I mean, you're headed downhill. It's not going to cost you extra.
Okay. So I'm gonna move 25 feet to right here,
Hell yeah.
and I'm gonna use hypnotic gaze on him.
Man.
He can see in here, right? Or see or hear?
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, I will use hypnotic gaze on him.
All right. Try and make a wise man's save. Oh, only a 9.
Alright, well, he's incapacitated as long as he doesn't take damage. I don't move 5 feet away, and I don't purposely release the gaze. So, before I do that, I'll just say, like, everyone take a chance to prepare to take him out.
So charmed and incapacitated. All right. Let's
Man hit him with
see.
the Riz stare. Sin.
Let's see.
Sin's video was over.
Jeez. I don't like it here.
I love it. It's great.
All right. So the only way that can end, I think, is if it makes a save or takes damage, correct?
He does not actually get a save, as far as I know. He just gets an initial save. Per the thing, on subsequent turns, you can use your action to maintain this
That's
effect,
right.
extending its duration until the end of the next turn.
Right, because that's okay. So you have to keep your concentration to kind of lock.
Mm-hmm. I can't do anything, he can't do anything.
Okay.
Unless he takes damage.
Gotcha. So he can still be targeted by spells and effects, it seems, that might not do damage, perhaps?
Correct, yeah, like if somebody wanted to like hold monster or hold person or whatever, that would potentially work.
Let's see. I have little to no experience here. But oh man. Sorry, I gotta make sure I'm not doing damage here, guys.
Yeah, like I said, essentially I would have just relayed some information to say don't hurt him until we're all ready. Or take out the other one and then everyone prepare for this one.
Yep. Okay. So, as an action, because I don't think this doesn't cause damage to the creature. Nyx will, you see him sort of nick his own arm, and sort of pull out a little bit of blood with like a thimble-looking thing, or like a pin.
Crazy.
And he'll sort of slash it across his sort of forearm, and sort of flick that blood towards the golem, and he will apply a bit of a blood maledict on this creature.
Oh, shit.
So
Crazy.
okay, so Nyx only takes 1 point of damage. That's cool. And we'll do. Yeah, we'll do a blood curse of the marked. And I think
As long
this-
as it doesn't take away his sight or his hearing.
Yeah, it's not going to do damage this turn. It's effectively next time he does a special weapon attack. Alright, Felix will see Zarn. Oh boy, will he. He'll probably do... You know what, he'll do his at-will casting of Cure Wounds on you, Zarn. That way he's not using any spells up. Alright, so you're going to get 11 points of healing back.
Thanks, dog.
And he'll try and hold the line with you.
I am really holding much.
Holding onto this barrel.
Good boy.
Which I'm so sorry that it is me that you're strapped to the back. Holy shit.
All right, Graham, you're up.
Can I do a martial check?
Yeah, you may.
All right. Investigate.
6. That will not be enough for this creature.
And how much did I need to pass?
6.
Woo!
Oh.
Alrighty, I will step down 5. I'm actually going to aim an Eldritch Blast at the Swamp Gas
That's
Jade.
cool.
Eldritch, who?
He did what in his cup?
10.
Unfortunate,
Oops,
my friend.
sorry, Zarn. And then I saw Vayliss slip out of sight, but when that golem comes up, it might go for him again. As a bonus action, I would like to cast Misty Step.
Oh. Nothing personnel.
And I will hold my blade up at the ready, sort of waiting for everyone else to get into position.
Keep blading, blading, blading.
Got you back,
blading.
Vayliss. What? Wait, what? Where'd you go? Guys, Vayliss left.
Yeah, so Graham's
Oh,
thought is,
no.
oh, great. So now when we die, we disappear.
You're right.
So Graham, being upon that space, you can get 5 points of healing. Would you like to?
Is that at the start of my turn, or?
No, it's when you move into that space as well. It's either
Oh.
on start or when you move in. So hey, for free.
Then yeah, please.
There you go. All already done.
All right.
And that has 2 more uses left.
Okay. That'll be it for me.
All right. Zarn,
Yeah.
what you got for
Yeah.
me?
Oh, I'm gonna do a somersault, do a barrel roll, do a flip, jump behind him.
You can do that second one.
Ah.
So after you wake up from your dreams where you have all your bodily functions, what would you do?
Sit in my barrel, bro. I mean, what else can I do?
I don't know. I just like to give you the option, just asking,
I don't even
No,
have
you
any of my
don't.
weapons with me.
Nah, you got all sorts of good stuff. You got stuff like action surge to do nothing twice. You've got
You could also
you could get back to max using second wind.
you could also do a martial check.
But Zarn's not smart.
But you're a tactician.
Yeah, for
It's
tactics.
true.
This isn't
Yes,
a tactics
other
game.
things.
Tactically tell us how to murder this guy.
Tactically, just stab it.
Hey, you know what, Zarn? You get it for free, right?
Sure, I'll do a whatever check. Martial
Just,
check
yeah,
on
just
the target.
investigation is fine.
All right.
We'll see how we fare here. Hey, that's enough.
That's
That's
more than
exactly what you needed. Graham was just one off.
Okay.
I hate it.
All right. So, my friend, I don't want to. I'm not going to bullshit you. This is an important check here, but not for reasons that you might think. How do I say this? So usually you can deduce their power relative to you, right? Any traits that they might possess or tactics that they might employ.
Yes.
I think it's obvious to see that this creature was kind of called to the noise and kind of just is sort of brainless in its might. And because you've already encountered 2 creatures now in this expanse that might have like resistances and stuff, you can either do power relative to you, traits they possess, because there's no really tactics here, or like immunities that they might have, right?
Yeah, let's do traits.
Traits? Well, my friend, trait it is. Pull it up here. I am big boy. This is my trait. Okay. So this creature has mechanics similar to like a lair, like a creature's lair, and it has abilities that might play well with that. You haven't seen it yet, but thematically there is stuff in regards to the battlefield right now that this creature can call on for either aid to itself or harm to you.
Okay. Oh, and sorry, my thing was over, or my character sheet was over the last swamp gas shade. Is Alcan within range of that?
Yeah, Alcan's within 5 feet.
Oh, well then I will use another commander strike and have Alcan strike the shade.
That's cool.
Alcan, hit that thing. I don't like it.
Well, shit.
Will shit.
I only have a normal weapon.
That's all right.
Just precision, right?
Damage is damage.
And you get a D8 too. I forgot to add that to the last time.
Yeah,
that's
didn't need it
true.
last time.
Well, last time it murdered him anyway.
Last time he was mad dead.
All right, so normal attack on that shade, and then we'll add a D8 to damage after everything is rolled.
Sick.
See,
That's
last time, Zach, you put more heart into it, so you got your
Oh,
Pokemon to
fuck,
get
There we
you know
go.
what? Once again, fuck the D8
Let's
because
go!
with exactly half damage, you were able to take it out.
You're just better, my guy.
All right, Zarn. Any other ways you want to destroy my plans of killing the party? You barrel wanker,
No.
which
I'm
is not a
sorry.
compliment.
I'll be quiet.
Now I've put you in a barrel. You can make all the noise you want. All right, Alcan,
Yeah,
you were single and ready to Pringle.
I love Pringles. Anyways, I'm gonna
Hey.
second wind because
Cheddar
I
cheese.
am hurt.
You're literally down bad.
Oh.
Well,
Ah!
down less though.
The duality of Alkind.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
All right.
love that.
So you're
All
up to
right.
32. That's
Better
You
than
know.
nothing.
Yeah.
Sick. And then we're gonna do the thing that I'm supposed to be able to do, where I go
Don't hit
up
it
in
yet.
the center space. I'm gonna go hit the thing.
Don't hit it yet.
Don't hit. That's true. I'm actually gonna hold off. If anything, I will then instead spend my turn trying to get that sword from Felix. Hey, Felix, you want to hand me over that sword that belonged to Zarn? That shit would be like super tight.
Yeah, actually, right now, if you want to take your action to grab it, because Felix doesn't have it drawn, and
Right.
he's not gonna protest. So let me
Sick.
Sorry, I gotta get Felix out of your guys' ass.
I have it.
Oh, you do have it.
Yep,
Trading.
I got it. I
Oh,
traded.
that's true. You guys are so quick with it now.
Let's go. Zarn knows what he's doing. Anyways, but yeah, and I will equip that and then get into position to
Alright.
fight this thing.
Cool.
I'll make it so that he's not.
I appreciate that so fucking much. All right, so Tsar Golem, I don't think can really do much.
Nope.
So he'll do a runway walk and look pretty, and he'll
Can't even do that.
he'll tweet. All right. Beginning of round 3.
Obama, he's trolling.
Roz, let's see. He's like, now. He's gonna try and use his tactical brilliance to see if everybody else is.
In position.
Yeah, we'll do an insight check.
I'm in position.
I think if not, it would be Nyx, but you can't really squeeze in there with everybody else. Unless Alcan spun me around to be at his backpack.
That was the hope, but I can't do that.
Soja, you see Raz's trigger finger getting real itchy. Actually, his literal fingers, as he's been using his fist. But he will use his vengeful like glare against his creature and swear vengeance against it. Now this doesn't deal damage, but it will cause it to make a save. So he's assuming that's okay.
As long as it doesn't damage him.
Not right now, no. You see his fist and sort of broken weapon hilt glow as it's close to the tar golem, as if it's like supercharged. All right, Jasper, he's gonna ruin it and throw a pebble at the golem to enrage
You
it.
son of a.
Kill it, Jasper!
You mother-
Avenge your son!
What?
Sorry, he said.
Avenge?
Oh, sorry.
That's a bit of an assumption. He's gonna.
Crazy how he thinks they feed prisoners.
He's getting a little braver. All right. Aubrey will ready a strike, a sharpshooter strike with her bow. And yeah, she's got enough verticality to do so, I suppose. All right, Vayliss, you're up. Give me a perception check, please.
Sure.
Okay, so you heard the conversation from Soja through all the chaos about having it sort of like stunned and similar to what the mimic was when you guys faced it in that sort of tomb. Like, just stay calm, don't attack it. We'll be fine.
Sure. Kind of bonus action. Okay. Do I see this glowing area that Graham's standing in? Do I recognize what happened to me? Out of curiosity.
You probably saw the glowing first as your eyes opened and you woke up. You might not have parsed it as being like a persistent effect, but right now it seems to remain.
Well, either way, I kind of got to go through it. So, okay. I'm going to use the bonus action, the dash.
Okay.
5, 10. I'm going to whisper in Graham's ears as I go into space. On your left. 15.
All right.
Tiny leap to get to this thing without touching the water.
Yep.
If possible.
I'll give you 5 points for moving in there.
I found Vayliss.
Oh, I do get hit for it. Sick. I just needed to jump on the thing, but I love that. All right. What's 5 to 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And I will ready in action to throw a psychic dagger.
Okay.
When it seems like everybody else. Well, hold on. I'll be able to see Soja from here.
That works.
So, whenever I see someone attack, I will yeet my sneak attack psychic dagger.
Okay.
That's it. I'm still invisible.
That works. All right. Soja.
I will just ask if everybody's ready.
Really the only person that hasn't been able to ready something that plans on attacking, as you take a quick look around, is Nyx. Zarn really doesn't want to be in that situation right now. He doesn't feel sort of capable, it looks like. Also, I think, Alcan, did you use an action to... Oh, yeah, you interacted with Felix to grab the sword. So, yeah, out of the front line, Roz is ready. Whatever you have on this turn is ready. Graham seems to be here, but not really poised to strike. And you see Aubrey drawing her bow.
Okay. I will use my action to maintain the hypnotic gaze.
Okay.
Give everyone one more chance, just in case. Now, keep in mind, it ends as soon as she takes damage, not until my next turn. It only works for maintaining it.
Alrighty. Can Nyx squeeze through? I'm sure he can.
Turn to a bat.
It's not.
Also, I
not
mean,
what he does.
technically, Zarn's on Alcan's back, right? So
That's true. That's true.
would that
He-
spot technically be available? I guess.
Yeah, because assuming Alcan's facing this way, Zarn would be there.
Yeah, Zarn would be back there, right? So I
Yeah.
mean, there's
There's plenty of
right?
space on this train. All right.
Oh, we're about
Fe-
to train.
Felix will ready a second level guiding bolt.
What a hero!
I like to fucking hear.
And he'll just say, ready.
Okay. I'd like to try and make that that martial check again.
Sure.
See if I can't fucking redeem myself. All right, cool.
Oh, yeah. So we
Uh,
already got traits.
Could I get his what defenses and immunities was the third one? Yeah, can I get that?
So condition immunities. Immune to... Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
Let me guess, charm and incapacitated?
No, he can still be incapacitated.
Oh.
But he can't be charmed. How the fuck would that work? I don't think
Hold
that would have
on.
ever worked.
Hold on, let me read the thing.
A charmed creature.
Yeah.
It's a charm.
Imagine all the
Yeah.
people.
Well,
Yep.
let's tell you what. Hey, I'll fly with it. He's immune to fire, poison, psychic, and non-magical physical. Vulnerable to cold. Condition immunities charmed. Exhaustion,
Ugh.
frightened, petrified, poisoned, and prone.
Is that charred? He
No,
can't
no.
be charred?
No, charmed.
Charred? Okay, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charmander.
Cool. So what you said, fire, poison, psychic, and then regular physical damage?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Immune to physical?
Yeah, immune to physical that is not adamantine or magical.
And
Okay.
you said he's immune to psychic damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, cool, so I'm gonna do nothing.
Alrighty. So I will. It's gonna be hard to communicate all of that. But I will do my darndest. Which means that I'm not using the Shadow Blade, because that does psychic.
I
I will
didn't
just
even realize
say
you cast it yet. Shit.
I hadn't. That's what I was
Oh,
making the
gotcha.
check for.
Okay.
To see whether or not I was going to cast it. Oh shit. Yeah, I will effectively say, Boya, poison, psychic, regular physical. Nothing's really gonna hit him. If anyone's gonna get cold.
And you notice the charm is slipping out of Soja's hand as this creature is breaking free. Oh, how could that happen?
All right, just get ready to hit it.
So, all right. So,
And I'll just prepare
to
a,
balance this, we'll see. What's your save DC, Soja?
15.
15. All right. I'm gonna give him a save with advantage. This was
Okay.
wisdom, correct?
Yes.
Okay. If he succeeds, he just gets a free melee attack as he gets out of this slumber.
Okay.
Saving throw.
Boy, he's gonna punch me for telling the truth.
All right,
This
so he's
guy.
only got a 14.
Oh, all right.
All right, Zarn, you're up.
Okay.
I'm now poised to strike.
Who am I picking? Eeny, meeny, miny. You know what, Alcan? You carrying me, bro? You hit him. I'll use my commander strike again.
Alright.
That
Remember
makes
to add a
sense.
D8 to your damage.
Sick.
All right, so after Alcan's strike and damage, we will all do prepared actions.
Cool.
All right. Because fuck, hold on. Let me read. Sorry, I want to remember if incapacitated means you guys get advantage. Nope, just
It
can't
does
take
not, nope.
reactions.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
wanted to make sure.
Does he count as flanking with Graham though?
Not because of the size, I don't think.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah.
There
That's
we
right,
go.
you did the size thing.
Stab.
All right, so this is Graham's. So that's your 12 damage because it is magical.
Yep.
Okay. Beyond that.
Oh, and I guess I would have just taken that last use for the healing spirit
Oh, sure. So
on
I
my
can-
turn. Just get rid of that.
That's fair. All right. So I'm gonna do NPCs first because if you guys if a killing blow is to happen, I want it to happen from players, and that'll probably happen towards the end. So Nyx is pretty dexterous. He will do his shit. He's just gonna use his one attack. He crits on 19s. Fuck me.
Nice.
So that's that. His psychic doesn't do shit,
years.
which
4 more
unfortunately is
years.
most of it. He will use his tattoo shit, which is necrotic. And I'm not going to apply anything else. I think this is plenty.
He's making up for me, so there you go.
Fuck it. I like kind of going off.
Sometimes it's like I can hear Vayliss' voice.
I like going off of decks. So who had prepared actions? You did yours,
I
right?
used mine already. Yep.
Vayliss, you've got an 18 deck, so you'd move pretty quick.
I'm not doing anything though.
Okay, so you don't have any like last minute like audible or.
I only have a psychic blade and a regular dagger, and I was told neither of those things will work. So I'm
That's
just
fair.
gonna do nothing and stay invisible instead.
All right, so it should just be what Felix, Roz, and Aubrey.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start with Roz.
If I knew where you were, I could help you out, buddy.
Sorry, pal.
We'll do a regular fist. Yeah, that's a 14. So regular damage does well.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Bonk.
nothing. But oh boy, let me see if this gets any cooler. He swore vengeance. Unfortunately, that would be more bludgeoning. So wham, wham.
Just like sneak
All right,
attack.
Nice try, Raz.
We'll go Felix with his
Zero riz.
his upcasted guiding bolts. Come on, buddy.
That'll do stuff.
I'll smoke him. Yeah.
Yes.
Bonk.
Yes.
That's cool. All right, so that'll be 19 points,
Beam.
and then next attack will get advantage. We'll call that what Aubrey's sharpshooter shot.
I'm fine with
Yeah.
that.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
okay with
yeah.
that.
So
Perfect,
this
okay with
will
it.
be advantage with a minus 5. Oh, lucky for that 12. Yeah, that'll hit. Oh man.
That almost didn't impress me much.
right.
Almost.
Right.
So poison sucks, but the actual magical physical is nice. And this was all on Zarn's turn because you activated Alcan,
Yeah.
and then
And now Alcan gets to
now Alcan goes. All right,
Woo!
this shit's
Awesome.
easy.
If only I could have hit him.
We swanging.
Hit him. Smoke him.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Shit.
Alcan,
Um,
how do you want to do it to him?
Let's go!
Honestly, I feel like I'm just gonna like. Now that this thing started coming alive, almost as like a reflex of being like, "Oh shit, it's about to wake up." I just fucking like reflexively like try to stab it through the chest.
Yeah, go to sleep,
Just
go
like,
to sleep, go to
oh
sleep.
shit! Yep. I'm just like, oh no, oh no! It's right through the chest, right through where a normal person's heart would be.
Yeah, that is fair enough. So as you're like pounding into this creature's tar-made skin, it almost seems like this naturally occurring asphalt that you're like swathing away at. And other than the source of the tar, as you break into this creature, it seems like for being down here so long, it's got like this noxious smoke that is a part of its body. And it sort of almost looks like it might have ingested some of the fumes from when the big fireball happened. You're not sure how far that traveled, right? All that sort of blast that you'd made and what effect it had on the local Targolem population. Yeah. But as you strike into it, you see this creature's sort of, I would say, sort of golden, fiery eyes and sort of mouth, which has been dripping with anticipation for perhaps a taste of one of you, is now brought to its knees as it sort of just goops out of existence in just. All right. At the end of your turn, Alcan, it seems that everything has quieted down, and you guys are safe once again.
I like the idea that all of our attacks sort of trigger at the same time. Like Zarn sort of causes all of us to attack right there. Like we were all his Pokemon.
That is
It's
true.
true.
And then
I've
we're
seen
like-
that more than one at once.
And then we're like, oh fuck, that didn't work. Alcan's like, oh, I'll just fucking hit him again.
Everybody go.
Alright, so this creature
I'll
no
fucking do it
longer-
again.
Rez is like, shit, what was I even doing here? Just to suffer.
Why are we still here?
So yeah.
I mean, for him, that's pretty accurate.
It is.
So Raz looks around and he does not seem all too pressed about what just happened. And he sort of looks at all of you, making sure everyone's still somewhat among the living. And he says, the young one, he go running off?
I think he's around here somewhere.
I'm gonna, as I'm coming across these planks, I'll make myself visible again. Help, please.
Alright.
Felix, do you have any juice left to help out Vayliss? Because I unfortunately don't have anything.
Yeah, try these on for size. He'll hand you. Oh, what are they? There we go.
As he's figured out, I'm just ghosts I can handle.
He
Go
says,
to store. Tar?
yeah.
That
You're
thing
sort
was
of,
the-
yeah, your clothes are sort of caked with it, and it's like you're one of the sticky bandits from Home Alone, and everything is just like sticking to you, and you're trying to like gain freedom of movement again.
If
and
you
he gives you those nuts, and he says, "These tasted good." Yeah, go ahead and heal 4 hit points.
if
I don't know. I
does
don't
it-
see those.
Oh, I hit the button. I didn't mean. Oh, I got 4 twice. It doesn't heal that for me. Can I do
Oh,
that
I
somehow?
got you. There
Okay,
we
I
go.
didn't know if you wanted me to mess with that or not. Thank
if
you.
It's all
you,
good.
you want to stand still for a sec, I can help with the tar.
I would love that.
All right. I'll sort of
Healing
step in,
spirit.
and I'm just gonna be using prestidigitation to sort of clean his outfit.
As he's doing it, just imagine being psychically immune. God damn it.
It just means that his head was empty.
Which makes mine empty, apparently, when it comes to combat. And I was just shaking out my clothes as he's magically cleaning them.
If that happens again, if we sort of find ourselves in a similar situation, let me know. I'll pass off my weapon to you. You can hold it for a little bit.
Appreciate that.
Nyx will crane his head around the corner and just kind of take a look at the surroundings and make sure there's no other impedances.
And all right, there we go. Can't have the style hampered in any way when we go above ground.
Well, I guess I wasn't as concerned about style, but now that I'm looking at it, yeah, I agree.
I'll give a nod.
Tar is sticky and gross.
Indeed.
Is Jasper okay?
Soja, you see Nyx kind of speak to Aubrey in a hushed tone and seems to do some gesture with his hand pointing off in some direction, like another tunnel. Jasper, now coming out of his like hidey hole fully, he's sort of skips from where he can to try and not get his boots all disgustingly dirty, and just kind of reveals himself once again.
Glad that everyone's accounted for. Oh, that almost took a very, very bad turn.
I gotta say that that paralyzing stay you got, Soj, is extremely powerful.
I will stare at him.
No, please don't. I'll quickly look away.
Yeah, Aubrey, with all her knowledge of like monster slaying and shit, says, yeah, typically golems are immune to that sort of thing.
That's crazy.
It's wild the way that
Wild.
math works. It's crazy the way
He's-
nature do that.
He's such a powerful wizard, second powerful in our party, that he can bypass that.
Man, that's crazy.
It's nuts.
Imagine.
So, Ross, does that happen usually down here? Have you encountered those creatures before?
The golem I know of. It's rare, probably got spooked. Came out of hiding. As far as the other creatures, those are part of the manifestations of old souls that used to live in this place. In this city.
Understood. Alright, well, good to know that if we're moving through here, to be a little more on the lookout. And I also know to not use fire as much down random pipes. That didn't turn out the way I planned.
Who could have saw it coming, right? And he'll just kind of inspect the pipe like almost like a foreman. Nyx will come over to you, Soja, and we'll say, Wizard, I'd like a word with you, if you don't mind.
This wizard has a name.
Good. I'm kidding. Soja, if you can oblige me, he'll just exit outside the room. Start rounding the corner back the way you guys came.
I'm gonna keep my eye on it.
We'll
just
try
in
and
case he
dodge the
tries to do some
water.
shit.
I'll just walk on the water.
Yeah. He'll
Base.
he'll say, when we were taking this path into the room, I didn't want to, I didn't want to disrupt anything, but when I said watch your step, I thought I saw some tracks or footprint of some kind. After looking over Raz and the size of his boots and his gait, his pace, didn't seem right. And he says, I wanted to take a closer look. When I was guiding you, I just didn't want you to step on any of the tracks. And he adjusts his eye similar to like if somebody has like a contact lens in, right? And he tries to. So he moves a lens or a lens or a film-like substance on his eye, and you see behind that. The best way to describe it is, it's almost like you're looking at a gemstone that is sort of almost inlaid into his eye socket.
All right.
And it looks like crystal, right? And you can see it catch a little bit of the reflective light from the water, because there is every now and then there's a bit of like moonlight that comes through what piece of like broken ceiling or whatnot is around here. Yeah. And you see a bit of a shimmer there. And he says, these things are tools for close-up visual inspection. I think there's maybe half a dozen footprints lightly walked that tried to kind of hide their movements, but one's a bit heavier, like it was toting something. Heads northeast. I just don't want to tell the rest of them because looks like some of them took a beating, and I know you've used some resources already.
Oh, speaking of using resources, I didn't want to do it in the middle of combat because I forgot about it.
Yep.
But could I use my arcane recovery to get a second level back?
Oh, for the short rest before the combat?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't want to do it in the middle of combat because that didn't seem fair. So
I understand.
I'm certain we could take a look. As long as we don't stray too far.
It's possible, yeah. So I don't put you out. How about collateral? I don't want you to think I'm going to be abandoning you guys, but I'd rather make the journey solo as to not attract attention. He'll hold out his scabbard. Just say, hold on to it till I get back. Maybe hide it under your cloak or something in case you don't trust any of your pals.
I'll give him a smile and say, "What scabbard?"
All right. So he'll head off to the north and start his trek.
I will indeed hide the scabbard upon my person.
Which
Yeah.
hole are you putting it in? I mean, what?
Oh, you know.
I'll hide your scabbard.
That's right, you will. Sheath your sword, big guy.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
All right.
Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm staring at you, but
We'll stare back.
I'm just letting you know.
Hit you with that handsome Squidward stare.
You're pretty.
Are we having a staring contest?
No, I was just making sure the the woodland boy didn't kill you. But it seems like you got something from him.
I received nothing.
You're right. You didn't.
I'll give him a nod.
None of my business anyway.
I'll give him a nod and walk back in. Man.
Alright.
I hate when I get a pistachio and it's not slightly opened.
You know how many gallons of water?
Taste. Damn. Amazing.
Have you
But,
ever been truly hungry, Darren?
No.
There are children in the world, Darren.
There sure are. There are a lot of them.
Sorry, Sarah McLaughlin just knocked on my door. I had to save face.
For sure, for sure.
All right. It seems that Felix is, for lack of a better word, tapped or close to tapped regarding another potential encounter like that. Zarn, you're having all sorts of bad days.
Just here.
Alcan, I know you use some resources.
I'm pretty much spent on all of my abilities, all
Yeah.
of my magic. I can swing. That's about it.
That's awesome. Love that. Aubrey will sort of try and be somewhat proactive and ask Roz for sort of suggesting if he can perhaps repurpose some of his traps to place around entrances to here, as though you guys can get a bit of a rest in.
Well, that would be extremely ideal.
And Roz is kind of thinking it over and sort of just nods and says, yeah, I can go to places where I've doubled up and scavenge a bit. Yeah. And he'll take a few minutes sort of on his own, and he's got a couple makeshift, like, spike pits that you can hide among rubble and stuff like that. Not so much pits, but like spike, boxes or whatnot that he can make. He's got sort of mechanisms that he can engage where pipes would pivot, releasing, all sorts of goop or trash or garbage or, something that makes things difficult to rain. He's got a couple traps that he can set in water so they sort of clasp around a leg, almost like a bear trap. So he's got a few things that he can do, and you guys see him sort of disengaging and reworking all of these to put them back together again. Let's see here. I think anything else.
It seems like we're resting up. I'm gonna place the barrel with Zarn just right here by the fire. Keep him nice and warm.
Yeah.
Just gonna set him down there and leave him.
Thanks, buddy.
Zarn, you're one step away from being a rotisserie, or like on a spit.
I'll give him a spin so that way he cooks evenly.
Yeah, like a kebab truck.
Just rotate the barrel every now and then.
Zarn, Al Pastor, Vestadil.
Please don't fucking eat me.
Please, dear God.
Listen, I'm not that large.
So, Roz will say, after probably a good 15, 20 minutes, he'll come back and say, I've been able to repurpose about half a dozen traps. I can set them at a couple close entrances here, and at the broken pipe. And he'll also say, I also have a couple other entrances that I can slow down a bit if anything should come our way. If you guys want to get your rest, I fortunately require no sleep.
That's. What do you do doing with all that extra time then?
It's almost odd to think about, but I never really appreciated time until I had too much of it. There's always a path that I can take or a place that I can go that I have yet to explore down here. These tunnels are vast. In that sense, I suppose I know every inch of the tunnels that I know of, but there are all sorts of passageways that were old smugglers' dens and what have you. I know everything that is not behind a closed gate or a hidden passage, but beyond that, there's plenty.
Well, that's good to know. I didn't realize this place was quite so large.
I'll make my way above ground every few days, making sure nobody's, loitering around up there trying to make this place a haven of debauchery, I suppose. I suspect I feel some sort of continuance of duty in that sense.
Who's keeping watch? Well, it's very much appreciated. And thank you for allowing us to rest here.
Of course, get as comfortable as you can. He will sit in his sort of makeshift throne as king of the sewers. And he will just sort of watch over the weakest point of entry being where the tar golem was. And he's been sort of able to maneuver what was left of the goop to effectively create like a sticky trap, combining it with a bit of other like hidden, shards of glass or something to try and cause some damage and slow creatures
Or
down.
crimes.
Well, I don't think shards of glass is what you need for that, but it certainly adds to the danger and violence.
I drew fan art of Soja stuck in the fly trap.
Now, when you say fan art,
It's me. I'm my only fan.
oh, cool. We talking MS Paint, we talking AI, we talking Krita.
MS Paint, of course.
Hell yeah.
High quality 1080p.
Yeah, Stickman Elite.
Oh, were you going to talk to her?
No.
Oh.
We're gonna go talk to Raj.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
From what I can understand, you're the one that helped me up, so thank you.
Yeah, sure. I'm glad I saw you.
Yeah, so am I.
Seems like your friend got to clean you up pretty good.
Yeah, I kind of figured there'd be more of that since it was sticky, but from experience, I can tell you it looked sticky. It was quite dense.
Yeah,
But-
I can imagine.
I just wanted to make sure I said thank you for making sure I didn't end up like our friend in the barrel there.
Well, the night's young, and although I don't anticipate more creatures coming our way, there's worse things in a barrel, I suppose.
Right. Thank you again.
Yeah, you got it. She'll, after a bit of that tense battle, she seems a bit sort of, she seemed a bit tight, as sometimes you guys have had to take passages down here that were a bit constrictive to someone her size. So she finds like a handhold or two on the stone wall to the side, and she hangs there to try and decompress her spine a little bit and stretch out, and try and just kind of get those kinks out of the muscles. So, if you guys would like to spend the full 6 hours of rest for a long rest, we can do that. As Nyx can make it back sometime during that, and he won't be getting a full rest, but we'll have time to take a short. Is that what you guys would like to do?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please.
All right. So Nyx will eventually get back, and I'll give him a short
I'd like
rest.
to take the equivalent of what would be the first watch. I know we're not actually doing it, but I can get a full rest and take a watch, right?
Well, it's 6 hours of rest time. The only reason I'm not making it 8 is because normally,
Somebody's taking a watch.
yeah, you
I
guys
see.
are getting exactly 6 hours. So if you're staying up during part of that, you're not
Yeah,
getting
I
that
wouldn't-
full.
so
Yeah.
no, I would need the rest. Prioritizing that. Okay.
Yeah, usually I do 8, assuming like 4 2-hour watch periods. That way everybody has a chance to get 6 hours back.
Gotcha.
All right,
All right.
so you
Take a
guys
long
can
rest.
Yep, take your long rest. Nyx will get his short.
How does
yeah.
Nick seem when he gets back?
Well, you guys will be waking up to this, so I'll get to it. And this is
Hmm.
technically a new day if it affects anything, because we'll be passing midnight.
Boy, it sure
4,
does.
5, 6. Jeez, y'all sleep schedule's gonna be fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's gonna be about 3 in the. Yeah, there's a little bit of travel, so it's about 3 in the morning when you guys are gonna be waking up here. All right, let me get to Felix's long rest here. New day. Aubrey, long rest. New day. Jasper, you're barely a human being. Or actually, you're not. You're barely a humanoid. You don't need no
Hey,
rest.
Drew.
Yeah,
I wanted you to weigh in on this for me real quick.
sure.
It doesn't say anything about hypnotic gaze having an actual limit to how often it can be used. Only on specific creatures, it has a limit.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it says I can't use that feature on that creature again until I finish a long rest. But
Yeah,
it doesn't
'cause-
say I can't use it again on a different creature.
well, the way I interpret this is if it says something like you can use X action to transfer this effect, great, right? But you only get hypnotic gaze once per long rest. You have one use of hypnotic gaze. It's not like a spell slot, right?
Right. Well, that's what I'm confused on because it says it's only one use on that creature.
I actually do think he could use it on another creature.
Oh, so he has more than one use?
I'm gonna
Yeah,
look. I'm gonna look into this real quick. Hold on.
It's only he can attempt it against the same person once per day.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, if you used it on me, had me paralyzed or like incapacitated for a minute, stopped, and then used it on Felix, he could use it on every person here separately.
I see.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it just says you can't use it on the same creature until you finish a long rest. So,
Yeah, I think that's to help balance for the saver suck nature.
Interesting.
Then can I have my exhaustion level reduced, please?
Yeah, I
Please.
guess.
Please.
Oh, and in the same sort of vein, does my charisma damage go away?
Oh, let me double check. Yeah.
My
Karma.
maximum hit points should still be half.
Yeah, it's because I. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Oh yeah. So after your rest, Graham, you get it back. I will change it to 20 right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So exhaustion.
Thank you.
4. You got it.
But it didn't change the stuff on my sheet.
What about now?
Yeah, there we go.
Cool. I'll give you the 24 out of 23 and a half hit points.
Hey, thanks, dog.
Also, since we finished a long rest,
Mhm.
I will use my whispers.
Hell yeah.
An hour.
Okay, yeah. So I'm reading on because when you get to this kind of thing, you have to start looking at forums.
Yeah, that's the saddest part.
It's looks like it's pretty widely accepted that you have multiple charges of it, like infinite charges,
That's cool.
but it is only for one creature, one attempt, one time.
Mm-hmm.
So
So if the creature saves, it's done on that creature. You can always do it on a second creature. And
I can always do another. Yeah, exactly. It's the way the reason it gets weird is because it has that only once on one creature. D&D Beyond parses that data as one use.
Yeah, it does it as like a charge.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
So
I'm gonna
what-
connect me, Soja, and Aubrey.
Okay.
Just so it's
And you may disconnect me from Alcan.
I got you. You get your movement back. All right. So
I'll
Alcan,
whisper so she knows. By the way, like just I'll do the, the mind
Alright,
thing. Like,
you're good.
hey, just so you know, we're connected this way.
Aubrey, sort of startled, just kind of looks up, just just nods.
Useful for things. I understand it's weird at first.
So Alcan, you wake up next to Zarn in his barrel. Which Zarn, it's almost like still a peaceful sleep. One, because you're just so fucking tired, but also like there's no risk of you even having the energy to like toss and turn and all that. And the blanket from Felix sort of helped as well.
Snuggle bug.
Yeah.
Can't roll out of the bed if you're stuck in the bed.
Yeah. So as you guys
That
all
is the role.
as you guys all awaken, Zarn comes to and is able to sort of stretch his legs and a little off balance, off kilter for a moment, but he's able to step out of the barrel and support his own weight now. Still looks quite
Literally
pale
cuddled
and
by a barrel.
yeah, he still looks quite pale and a bit kind of frazzled, I would say, and just kind of still realizing like this is not my regular movement. This sucks. Yeah.
At least I can walk.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive given the state you were in yesterday. So, good to see you back up and at it.
I just hope I don't slow Salt down too much.
I mean, I think we'll be okay. If you need to hop back in the barrel, we can absolutely do that.
Yeah, right.
Maybe you just hold on to it for now.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no. If you get too tired, if you feel like you're going, you can't keep up, just hop in.
Will do. And I'll grab my long spear from Felix as well.
Oh yeah, would you like your sword back?
Not until I'm feeling 100%. I'll just use the spear for now, keep everybody at a distance.
Probably a good call.
You were saying that Nick sort of gets back as we're all waking up.
Yeah, he probably hasn't been back for more than an hour, so enough for him to get his a short rest in. But you guys probably started tossing and turning as he was getting back.
If I could, I'd like to speak with him for a minute.
Yeah, go for it. This is probably, I'll say the others are still sort of asleep, and this can be somewhat private.
Hello there, Nix.
He's you can see him sticking a little bandage over a small wound where he drew his blood.
I saw your sword work back there. You're quite a daft hand.
Oh, thanks. Unknowing to you, Soja, this is happening while you guys are still in your last hour of rest or so. He'll flaunt his breast pocket open, or not breast pocket, but his like jacket open to reveal the scabbard with the sword in it, and yeah, it's a good little tool.
I couldn't help but notice you used some sort of device to sort of split yourself a little bit. Flung it at the tar creature. Is that some sort of what's the word? Hematurgy or blood magic?
Yeah, you're in there. It's not the most powerful thing, but it's it's effective.
I confess I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a bit curious, but that's just from a sort of power I'm not terribly familiar with.
it's a bit on the we'll call it non-organic side of magic. Um,
Hmm.
it's a power that they don't teach at academies, let's say.
I suppose I can relate to that.
What they didn't teach your charm at a bardic institution.
Oh, me, a bard? No, never. The sort of things I've picked up recently haven't been from a book, no. Uh, but similar things I could do, at least from what I sort of remember from my time before. I just always sort of, give a small flick of the wrist. Always sort of had at least a small talent for fast blades, sort of thing.
Who'd you study under somebody?
Let's see, under the blade, no. Reflex, if you'd sort of believe it. Muscle memory, let's say.
Did you train at what, Quelnalor or Torenheim? Carindal?
Let's see. No. I sort of grown up. It was a small talent. I had a private tutor, Philip. Learned a little bit from him. Sort of experimented for the rest.
Where'd you grow up?
I'll sort of think about it because I, as Eric, do not remember,
There's
and I'm not sure.
I think
I'm
you're
not sure if Graham does.
well, ethereal planes is where you've gotten your
Mhm.
ancestry, right? But that doesn't have to be where you grew up.
Right.
You can either choose. You can choose where you kind of honed your craft. That can be completely different from where you grew up. Would you like a map to go off of?
Yeah, please.
All right, I'll send this to you via the cord.
Right around there.
That should be good enough. There you go. If you middle mouse it, it should open full resolution in a browser.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Love when it does that.
It's the best.
And I forgot how crazy the zoom was.
There's a bit of zoomies, if you will.
Let's see. And the
He'll start going
ethereal lands.
into places. He'll say, I spent some time living in Brandywine when I was maybe 14, 15. Found some work there working under Catalina. She's like a, one of those vintage makers there, competing with other vineyards and palmasics in the region.
Let me see. Okay, cool. That's where it was. It was actually a port town, if you're familiar with Aurealis.
Ah, yes, city of fine spirits.
That's what tourists say anyway.
Yeah, you've got me there. Do you work as a dock master, or, well, I suppose if you had a tutor of sorts, you might have come from some sort of wealth. Maybe that's a bit too assumptuous.
No, kindred spirits of sorts, sort of considering what we know about each other. Might as well come clean on that. Parents were in a bit of wealth. That's why, didn't really see much need to interact with the outside world. I was, I guess you could call it a scholar, but as much as a scholar is just a person who has a lot of time and a lot of reading material. Tried to hone the arcane craft and after that, decided for spot of adventure.
You get that hunger for adventure after reading, or is that just something you did to pass the time?
More, I'll sort of chew on that for a sec. More a opportunity to do things I hadn't done before. Just practical application, let's call it.
I can understand that. I was a bit of a reader myself. It's not too many libraries out in the ancestral forests of the world. Tell
You
you
have
what,
a
though.
favorite book?
Oh yeah, Isle of Titania. If you haven't read it, it'll blow your fucking world open.
Isle of Titania. All right, I'll keep an eye out for that one. Mine is a treatise on the astral plane by a Zabern.
Is that something
I think
that
that was the running title, like the full thing
Interest-
actually.
is that something that interests you? The world between worlds, as it's I guess known.
I'd say I had definitely a curiosity about it, just the idea of a world sort of making up the soup between ours and another. But no, it was the way that he sort of described it. Uh, Everything had this sort of dreamy quality to it, this larger than life type diction that I just naturally sort of got magnetized to.
Yeah, there's obviously I don't want to disenchant your assumptions or your dreams, but I suppose when you're wide awake and reading about them, the dreamlike nature can be a bit muddled in the in the rest of the letters.
Sounds like a man who's had a bit of experience.
It's you see enough of the world become sufficiently dour with your sense of mankind and its like.
I'd sort of wager that at a certain amount of time after that sort of dourness, maybe a bit of cynicism, if you wouldn't mind my assumption, you might try to turn it around just to see maybe some more wonder in the world.
Graham, I'm 22. If I wasn't cynical, what the fuck else would I be?
You got me there. Well, I'll let you sort of get all your stuff together, ready for whenever we travel. But I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah. And rouse your buddies. I have some news.
All right.
So Graham goes around one by one, starting to awake you all and getting you ready for another a journey. Is there any other conversation, Graham, you want to have with anybody as you have sort of free reign to wake them at your leisure?
I imagine I know that Zarn currently is AFK, but it would probably just be me checking up on him, making sure he's
Oh,
good
he's
to
back.
walk and all that. Oh,
Hi, I'm back.
it's just me going around. So, oh, now Alcan's gone.
He was
When,
the next person I was going to talk to.
I'm sort of waking up everybody, and as I wake you up, Zarn, I'm just kind of making sure that you're able to walk and all that.
Oh, sorry. Nightmares.
My face isn't that scary.
No, you're fine.
Sorry.
I'll try to stand just fine. Like you said earlier, stumble to my feet a little, but I can hold myself up. I'm okay.
All right. If that changes, let any of us know.
I will. Thank you.
You hear Felix mumble, "Piss off. I'm sleeping."
All right, I won't wake up Alcan then. Or not Alcan. Felix, sorry.
I guess I should have had the AFK marker over Felix this entire session.
That
That's
is
that's
true.
we want to
that's gonna be my canonical joke for the rest of the game.
see his
If somebody
beautiful
has
art.
some miss, you're all AFK. It's the best.
All right. And I will rouse everybody else.
All right, man. It's already morning, or probably not. I don't even know what time it is down here. All right. What are we off to this morning?
All right, so Nyx sort of not so much gathers you all, but just sort of make sure you're all ready to sort of kind of ingest new knowledge into your brains. And he says, I talked to Ross before I took off last night and wanted to get an example of what traps to look out for so I didn't trigger anything. So first of all, thank you for that. And Roz just sort of kind of like a stone being stretched, like his head from his neck sort of creaks. And you just hear this like crack of like bone and sinew and skin. He just nods. And he says, I was able to find one of the old smugglers' hideouts that Roz alluded to. Had a bit of foot traffic from what I could see, and there was quite a bit to see before being bathed in light and, giving away my cover should I have traveled any further. There's a chance they took the boy through there. From what I could tell, I seem to take a lot more steps and strides upwards as opposed to downwards, so I think wherever that hideout was, they're close to the surface, and I'm just guessing here, but it might have been closer to the outskirts of the town, so I don't think we'll be cracking our heads up to an urban landscape. I think we can take him. I counted maybe 5, 6. I don't know if they use that to restock and replenish or do whatever, but I think it's another path, and they match the description of what you guys informed me about.
All right, then let's stop dilly-dallying and go track down our hostage.
Absolutely.
And then Nyx sort of strides over to Raz, and he will say, hey, Raz, thank you for the message and the tribute. It's appreciated. If you come across any more like that, let me know. And he'll put out a hand to shake. And he'll say, there's a lot of questions that I have that need answers. And Raj just sort of says, yeah, anything for the Balar, the Oaks, and catches himself on the surname, and Nick just sort of nods. Whenever you get bored of this shithole, no disrespect, let me know. I think the light of day would suit you well. Raz sort of... I've never thrived more than down here. And Nyx will just kind of get his things together and start to lead the way.
All right.
And he'll say, offhandedly referring back to Roz as you guys get out of earshot. He
I
says,
actually wanted to.
oh, yeah.
I wanted to talk to Roz a little bit.
Please,
before
please do.
everyone left. You mentioned something about being betrayed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to bring it up. I know it's not the easiest thing, but I know that feeling, and I hope you catch the traitorous bastards that did this to you.
Yeah. Me too. I won't lie. I'm obsessed.
I see that. I'm a little afraid that I might become like you one day. But thank you for everything. And I'll walk away then.
Hey, kid.
I'll stop and turn.
I had a family, and this year, and he kind of raises his arms, and with whatever flecks of flesh and whatnot fall off, he says, my body here was, it wasn't recovered. My family never knew what happened to me. They assumed I died in the siege, and I found correspondence that mourned me as a hero. My wife eventually remarried, and my daughter grew up without knowing her father, so before you're cut down by a blade, if you're seeking your own tour, your own purpose of revenge, make right. Because I didn't really get the chance to.
I'll nod my head. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
All right, so Zarn, you're kind of catching up to everybody as they kind of make the first turn out of the space, and as you guys get out of earshot, Nick says, I respect the hell out of the guy, but it's like I forget what he looks like every time, and just have that feeling, Yeah, whatever. He's got secrets about the city and its history, and hard as I've tried, he doesn't really share them. He's got bigger fish to fry. Hey, Jasper, you I don't mean to, pry, but you follow you and your kid follow like a deity of sorts? And Jasper sort of snapping out of it says, yeah, Hunar, I'm a carpenter. So, the Eversmith is sort of, I guess, king in our house. He says, why? And Nyx walks over to him, and this is as you guys are, like I said, leaving Roz's sort of lair and entering one of the sewer tunnels. And Nick sort of pulls out a hand-carved, whittled, worn, painted symbol of a hammer striking an anvil. And he says, I found this kind of hidden in the muck, about knee-high for me, but probably chest-high for your boy. It was in a piece of loose brick. kind of just sticking out enough to where I notice the color and the shape of it kind of against the wall. I think your boy may have been giving me a breadcrumb to follow. And you see Jasper start to tear up. And he says, yeah, that's Caleb. Let's go get him. And he strides off with purpose, and that is where we are going to end tonight.